Hello, everyone. Please stand for the invocation led by Commissioner Scrumolo.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today in service of the people of Clay County. Lord, we come before you with gratitude for the incredible blessing of living in the freest country in the world. We're very thankful for the freedoms and opportunities that we enjoy, and we never want to take those for granted. Through every challenge and every season, we know that you're on the throne, and we place our trust in you. As we continue through the budget season, grant this commission wisdom, clarity, and discernment as we balance many competing priorities. Help us to be good stewards of the resources entrusted to us, remembering that every dollar belongs to the taxpayers that we serve. Guide us to make decisions that strengthen our community today while protecting its future. We ask for your continued protection over our first responders, our law enforcement officers, our firefighters, our military members and veterans who have sacrificed so much to protect our safety and freedoms. We also give thanks to our Clay County staff and to their commitment to serving our citizens each day. Give them strength, patience, wisdom, and encouragement in their work. Lastly, Lord, guide our words, our decisions today, and help lead us with humility, treat one another with respect, even when we disagree, and never lose sight of the people that we've been entrusted to serve. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Scrumolo. All right, today we are honored to have retired United States Marine Corps Captain Chris Lanham Jr. lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Captain Lanham enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1968 and served in Vietnam with the 3rd Amphibious Assault Battalion, 1st Marine Division. During his 22-year Marine Corps career, he served throughout the United States and overseas. He was meritoriously promoted to gunnery sergeant for his accomplishments in recruiting and later became a warrant officer before he retired as a captain in 1990. His military honors include the Combat Action Ribbon, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 4 campaign stars, and numerous other awards and commendations. Since retiring, Captain Lanham has continued serving the veteran community through numerous veteran organizations. Captain Lanham, we thank you for your service to our country and your continued commitment to our veterans and our community. If you could please lead us in the pledge, and then you could say a few words if you'd like.
Thank you so much. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. Hand salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two.
You could say a few words if you'd like.
Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be here. I represent a lot of veterans out there, and I work daily to help promote the general welfare of veterans, and thank you for this opportunity.
All right, you may take a seat. I call to order the Board of County Commissioners meeting for August 11th, 2026. And all of my commissioners are here with us today, and we will go right into pet adoptions with Teresa.
Okay, our first cat today is Bella, spayed female, domestic short hair, 4 years old, and weighs 7 pounds. Meet Bella. Bella has 2 hobbies, chasing cat toys and being in your lap. She takes both very seriously. She's incredibly soft, sweet, and cuddly, and she loves to knead your lap before settling in for some quality snuggle time. Basically, she's ready to become your new favorite piece of furniture. Bella was surrendered through no fault of her own and is ready for a family to love her forever. She came to us with her sister Pepsi, and these two have a special bond. Maybe you have room for 2, double the cats, double the entertainment, double the love. Our first dog is Viola, spayed female Chihuahua mix, 2 years old and weighs 7 pounds. Meet Viola, proof that the smallest dogs often have the biggest personalities. This little chihuahua is a total people girl who would much rather be carried around like the princess she is than hang out with a bunch of furry friends. She can live with other dogs, but she may occasionally remind them that she is, in fact, in charge. The good news? If they listen to her, Viola is perfectly happy to coexist. She's tiny, sassy, lovable, and definitely not lacking in opinions. Basically, Viola is a whole lot of dog in a very little package ready to enter your life. Next, we have Pepsi, which was the sister cat to the one we just saw. Spayed female, domestic short hair, 2 years old and weighs 10 pounds. Meet Pepsi. Pepsi is basically the neighborhood watch. If something new shows up, she must investigate. New box? She's in it. Grocery bag? Thoroughly inspected. Your dinner? She'll sniff it, consider it, and then walk away like a tiny food critic. She's also very talented with her paws and loves tossing hair ties into the air for entertainment. Pepsi can be a little shy at first, but she warms up, is good with kids, and enjoys other cats once she gets comfortable. Pepsi was surrendered through no fault of her own and is hoping her next chapter includes a forever family. And guess what? Her sister Bella is here too. Maybe Pepsi gets to go home with her built-in bestie. Lastly, we have Liberty, spayed female, mixed breed, 3 years old, weighs 53 pounds, is heartworm negative. Liberty is settling in nicely and showing us what a sweet girl she really is. She's been doing great in our gentle, dainty play group and has made some friends along the way. She's a good greeter, most enjoys doing her own thing, but will happily join in when she's interested in her friends and play group. She's an easygoing girl who doesn't need to be the life of the party. Just give her some good company and let her be Liberty. Come meet this sweet girl. If you're ready to meet your new best friend, our adoptable animals are waiting to add some extra love and life fun to your life. From wagging tails to purring kitties, we've got the perfect companion just for you. You want to see who's available? You can head over to our website and meet our adorable crew looking for their forever homes. And if you have questions, you can drop us a line at clayadoptions@claycountygov.com and let's chat. Don't wait. Your new best friend is just a click away. And pictured there is Tinker. And kittens like Tinker always need foster parents, and we are always in need of foster homes where they can grow, receive socialization, and get the care they need until they are ready for adoption. Could you provide a loving, temporary home for one of our foster animals? If so, please contact us at clayfosters@claycountygov.com. And lastly, if you're interested in helping our furry friends but you can't bring one home, please take a look at our Amazon wish list. We are always in need of items for shelter animals. Just go to amazon.com. And that completes our pet adoptions.
Thank you, Teresa. Would my fellow commissioners meet me up front? Have to. All right. So we are joining our public safety and education partners to highlight August as e-bike and e-scooter awareness month. Our goal is to highlight the importance of safe and responsible e-bike use while promoting education for riders of all ages. I'd like to invite someone from Sheriff Michelle Cook's office here, Under Sheriff, Clay County Fire Rescue Chief Lauren Mock, Chief David Moats, and Clay, is David here? And David Broski, our Superintendent of Schools, here up to join us at the podium. After we read the proclamation, after Commissioner Renter reads it, we welcome any brief remarks.
Yeah, next to data centers, I think e-bikes are one of the most controversial subjects out in the news. They've been on TV, I see. Sheriff Cook did a PSA for, as well as we have an initiative which we'll announce here in a bit. But let me first read the proclamation, and that's whereas electric bicycles, or e-bikes as they're called, and electric scooters, or e-scooters, have become increasingly popular forms of transportation and recreation. And whereas as students return to school each August, more children and teens travel on neighborhood streets, sidewalks, and roadways, making it especially important for riders, motorists, and pedestrians to remain alert and share the roads safely. And whereas e-bikes and e-scooters are motorized vehicles capable of traveling at speeds that require maturity, sound judgment, knowledge of traffic laws, and responsible operation, and parents and guardians should carefully evaluate whether these vehicles are appropriate for their child before purchasing or allowing them to ride. And whereas wearing a properly fitted helmet, following traffic laws, avoiding distractions, maintaining equipment, and riding responsibly can help reduce the risk of crashes and serious injuries, while drivers should continue to remain vigilant for young riders, particularly in school zones and residential neighborhoods. And whereas protecting the safety of Clay County's children is a shared responsibility, and education, awareness, and informed decision-making by parents, schools, law enforcement, fire, rescue, local government, and the community can help create a safer environment for everyone. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Clay County, Florida, this August 2026 is hereby designated as e-bike and e-scooter Safety Awareness Month. Duly adopted by Board of County Commissioners, Clay County, Florida, this 11th day of August 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. It's unanimous, so thank you very much. Yeah, it's becoming we have restrictions on transportation, school transportation, so we relegate that to the parents, and e-bikes are becoming increasingly popular, and they're a great form of transportation, but they have their drawbacks as well, so and maybe, Undersheriff, you may have a couple comments?
Sure. A lot of great tips are within that proclamation as far as safety with these e-bikes. And most of us grew up in the bicycle age, and we all had bikes. But I think we would all agree that there was probably an age where we weren't really ready for a motorized bike. So that's where the education that's going in between this proclamation and a lot of the things we're doing at the sheriff's office, it's important to make sure parents understand their responsibility to make sure their kids are appropriately equipped and ready to handle a motorized bicycle, because it is just that, and serious injury can result, and we don't want to see that here.
We spoke about, in our working group, we spoke about helmets. A football helmet is probably not adequate. Motorcycle helmet probably is not adequate. Bicycle helmet is probably not adequate. So do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Well, they're considered bicycles under current state law. A bicycle style helmet is probably going to be what you're going to find out there as your best option. Now, motorcycle helmets, of course, would be fine too. They're a little more expensive and a little more, protective. So that certainly would not be a bad option. But really, it's a mandatory for those, certainly those under 15 and under, but really for anybody riding one of those, because it only takes one incident to change your life or end it when it comes to a head injury.
And we've had some of those tragic injuries or tragic mishaps here in Clay County. Mr. Brodsky. You have any words of wisdom?
I would just say Clay County Schools is proud to partner. We thank the Board of County Commissioners for the education campaign, fire rescue. Of course, we've got a great relationship with the Sheriff's Office. This is an important issue. The safety of students is our first priority in Clay County Schools. I know we all feel that as a community. We're dedicated to doing our part, and it is a very serious issue that people need to heed warning of. So I appreciate that. I do have some team members out there that I'd like to recognize: Matt Boyack, Director of Safety and Security; Kelly Watt, who's Chief of Staff. I see Sabrina and Casey back there. We're all in Clay County Schools, and we believe this is a worthwhile effort, so we applaud everyone involved. So thank you so much. A little thing called the first day of school today.
Yeah, first day of school. We timed this for school open houses. We're going to be handing out and be trying to educate the parents a little bit more about the hazards of e-bikes. And one of the untold hazards of e-bikes are the power source and the hazard they can present to our public.
Well, first of all, we advocate prevention, whether it's prevention of fire, but in this case, prevention of injuries. And one of the things that we have found with the e-bike proliferation has been that the recharging of the batteries occasionally can cause fires, and we want everyone to be very careful about that. So it's important to do the safety tips that we talked about for the prevention of injuries to the youngsters that are riding the bike. But for the parents, the prevention and care and maintenance of that recharging so we don't inadvertently create a fire, because we've seen that experience with e-bikes and lithium batteries in general. So that's the next step in this process, is to limit that exposure and ensure that their homes are safe and we don't lose a home by fire because of charging an e-bike.
All right.
Thank you. Sir, thank you. Thank you, appreciate you. Yes, sir.
All right, so next we have recognition of the 100th anniversary of the Rotary Club of Green Cove Springs. We will recognize the 100th anniversary of the Rotary Club. For a century, the club has served the Clay County community through leadership, volunteerism, and service above self. And do we have the members of the Rotary? No, nobody here, right? All right, okay. We are just. We're supposed to be doing it on the 17th, next Monday. Great, okay. So yeah, we're just recognizing on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, we thank the Rotary Club of Green Cove Springs for its lasting contributions to our community. Very good.
We'll be present at that event.
All right, we will move on to constitutional officers. Anyone, Under Sheriff, you want to say anything else? No? All right. And I think Tara is at the investiture of our newest judge. And actually, Diane, I did see Clay County tax collector. No? Okay. Okay, very good. All right, then we'll move on to approval of minutes.
I'd like to approve the Board of County Commissioners Budget Workshop meeting minutes for July 23rd, 2026.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And then also for the minutes for July 28th.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Board of County Commissioner meeting minutes from July 28th, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and we will move on to public comment. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. At this time, the board will not engage in debate or answer questions. You may email askclay@claycountygov.com and staff will address your questions, or you may email your district commissioner. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted to the clerk on the far left of the dais. You are to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Before addressing the board, please state your name and address. Now I'd like to open the first public comment period at today's meeting. And I have Lee Wilsey first.
Good afternoon and thank you. I am Lee Wilsey, representing the Northeast Florida Regional Council, 40 East Adams Street, Jacksonville 32202. I'm here today to present to you our return on investment document. It's the blue folder that I believe each of you all have at your seat. When you open that up, there is the Clay County return on investment on one side, and then our board of directors asked that we share all of our county return on investment, so all the other counties are on the left-hand side. Just kind of want to quickly walk you through this document so you know what it says. First of all, I want to thank Commissioner Renninger and Condon. They both serve you all on our board of directors. But the front of the document talks about the return on investment and from a regional perspective. So we do this over a 2-year period just because the math is easier. We've got too many different fiscal years that we work through, so it's easier to do a rolling 2-year average. And on the left-hand side, it talks about our funding. So some of our funding comes from county assessment that each of you all pay, county dues, and those are based on a per capita basis. It's was established through an interlocal agreement, but I will tell you that several years ago, our board chose not to continue to increase that on the current population. So I believe the assessment is based on a 2019 population, if I'm not mistaken. So you're already the county has grown a lot, so there's already a bit of a discount there. But of all the funding that we bring in, 25% of that comes from all of our county dues. The other comes from local, state, and federal grants and contracts that we manage. So that the front gives you just the general picture of the region as a whole. If you flip over on the back side, this is really more a Clay County focused area. The left side talks about different programs that we do across the region, but the right side highlights things that we do that's Clay County specific. Just quickly to name a few, we are your administrative support for your local mitigation strategy work group, and we also have worked closely with your community paramedicine program, helping with that, among many other projects that we do. But I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you all have any.
Most importantly is ROI in Clay County.
Oh, I missed that, yes. So in Clay County, you all have a 16-to-1 return on investment. So every dollar that you all give in your fees, which are based on 2019 population, you're receiving $16 back for that $1. So yes, the whole point of it, and sorry, I forgot that.
Madam Chair, I just want to say, first off, thank you for always being engaged. I mean, you're here all the time, which is a testament to our investment for the information that you're able to bring back to our regional partners. And I can just say in the 2 years so far of doing this, the collaboration is a true payoff in terms of public safety and infrastructure and things that the county saves a ton of money by leveraging our partners of other counties. And it's a really important program, and we're very thankful for what you do.
Absolutely, thank you. Appreciate that.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
So much.
Thanks, Lee.
All right, next I have Noel Saubers.
I'm Noel Saubers, 417 River Birch Lane, Fleming Island. I just want to talk about the new tax bill that we got, because I don't necessarily see it in here where the tax bill says you guys will be discussing that tonight. I already think it's a done deal. You guys have made the claims of it. I looked at the study that Edward Jones did, and this is a huge sum of money that you people are going to be playing with for years. You know, on the 10-year study that they did, it was $92 million based on the current assessments that you have now at 0.85. And we don't know how you guys do personal property taxes, where you adjust the millage 1 year, you adjust the cost of the house, and it just keeps building. In addition to that, what you're also doing is taking money out of your current budget and pushing it over into this new process, because you'll be hiring 3 people that aren't going to be cheap, and you're going to move, it doesn't say how many, but you're moving a lot of employees over to this new department, along with their costs and everything else associated with them. And the cost initially was going to be about over $3 million the first year, and by 2037, based on the study, it's going to go up to over $4 million. And I think that's well underestimated. I think you guys are just moving monies around like you can't imagine, based on the fact that you have all this time to do stuff. When I look at some of this stuff, I'm stunned at the fact that the new department that you're creating is going to end up paying the tax collector $184,000 based on the study to do their paperwork for this. Why are we paying one department, paying another one to do more work when they're currently doing it? It makes no sense at all. You're just shuffling money around to make it easier and to do things. Well, I've got so much more. And the other thing I'd like to say is, every one of these things in here, I have questions on, but I'm only allowed 3 minutes at the beginning and 3 minutes at the end. And there are tons of questions on these 16 things that I have questions on. And I was here the last time, and you guys didn't even know some of this stuff. I remember the questions I asked, you guys then started asking someone else about these things. When can we start to get answers that I know you guys are reading it, how many of you drove out to Governor's Park and actually looked at what they're trying to do out there? I doubt any of you have, but I don't know that because some of the questions you asked absolutely prove you never got there. And all the issues on the traffic control studies, the current engineers that did all the traffic studies are the same ones that brings us Blanding Road, Northern 17, and now you're saying it's no problem at all. The study says this. I have been around in the business long enough to know, well, there we go.
As I said, we will not debate or answer questions. You may email askclay@claycountygov.com, and staff will address your questions at any time, sir. And August 25th is the meeting for stormwater fee. Next, it would be James Christopher Gay.
Good afternoon. I'm James Christopher Gay, 1439 Rosecrans Lane in Green Cove Springs. I'm here as the president of the Clay County Master Gardeners Program to speak in support of the IFAS Extension Office, which is facing reduction in funds in response to what we all recognize is a necessary budget process that has to deal with short funds. But having said that, I just wanted to speak briefly about what the Master Gardener Program is and why the IFAS Extension Office is important. The question that was raised at the last meeting was, what is the value of the program? And I'm not going to speak to what the cost of the program is. I want to speak to the value of the program within the community. Just as a background, the Master Gardeners fall under the University of Florida. And the University of Florida is a land grant program that was established in 1862 under the Morris Act by Congress. Following that, in 1914, there was the Smith-Lieber Act, which created a formal relationship between the land grant colleges and the Department of Agriculture, with the mandate to go out and provide knowledge and expertise to the public through educational programs. In that capacity, they created the Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Services, which is who we work under. What that really means is, in 1978, they formally created the Master Gardener Program, and this is throughout the United States. All of these, everything I'm talking about is throughout the United States. The name may change based on the state that it's in. So what is the value of the program? Why do we have Master Gardeners? Where do you see us? You see us when you go to the Clay County Fair, and there's an entire pavilion dedicated to agriculture with all the plants in there, all the things that the students bring in. We're the ones who set it up. We're the ones who register the plants. We're the ones who judge them. We're the ones who clean up afterwards. We're also in the schools. We're at Bannerman, which is one of the places where I volunteer, and at Oakleaf, where we work with the students every single week. We manage the grounds, free of cost to the school. We have hydroponics out there. We have regular gardening. So why, if this is, we are also self-funded. So if we're self-funded, why am I speaking? Because we are self-funded, but we are managed by IFAS. All the money that we raise goes to the University of Florida. The expenditure is done by the Extension Office, who has our credit card. They provide our training and set up the on-ramp so that we have volunteers. There are 73 of us now, but every year the Extension Office has a class and brings these people on. They maintain our online visibility. They are where we register our hours. They're the ones who keep track of whether our CUs are up to date. They also are where the public accesses all the various training programs that we provide, because that's where they register for them. We do all these classes free of charge to the citizens. Sometimes there's a nominal charge maybe for food or beverages, but that's really about it. And this is ongoing. We're in all the libraries we teach. We're in all of the garden clubs that are in the county. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Also, Susan Miller's next. After that is Michelle Ward.
To do this today. Hi, my name is Susan Miller. I live at 1239 Arbor Circle in Orange Park. I'm president of the Garden Club, and the Extension Office has been important to us because that's where we go to get our speakers.
You can pull it down, ma'am, the microphone.
To get our speakers, to get some help. If we have any questions, we can always call the Extension Office, and we depend on it. It's been very helpful for our organization, and they just give us a lot of information and guidance. So we really appreciate it. That's it.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Michelle Hord. And next is Lizette Fionica, I think.
Hello, I'm Michelle Hord and I live at 1321 Rushing Drive in Orange Park. And I too would like to speak about the Extension Center. I've been a Master Gardener for 20 years. And I'd like to relate to you some of the experiences I've had. I'm aware of the return on taxpayers' investment, and I thank you as I'm a taxpayer also. I believe that Extension provides an invaluable service to the citizens of this county, and the elimination of funds would impact all of our office. Our support staff is invaluable, mostly because we're volunteers and we're out of the office. We're not there to get papers ran and, notebooks ready. That's in addition to the hours we spend to volunteer. I believe Dr. Hobbs has made a list of the current services we have, so you already have them. I'd also like you to know that we've also applied for and received several grants that we also use for our programs. And one of the experiences I had was with the Florida Youth Challenge, had an agricultural class in their curriculum at Camp Blanding. And we assisted with this program. We had a greenhouse, propagated, sold the plants to fund more supplies, grew vegetables, planted fruits and berries. We taught them how to build a gazebo out of an old satellite dish turned upside down and covered it with vines. You don't always need to go out and get something new. You can use what you've got. They were so interested in a career in what we were teaching them and began discussing business opportunities. FLICA added these types of businesses to their career days for potential hire after the program ended. Success was a 6-foot male holding a little plant saying, "Will you set this aside for my mother?" So another place that I had a phone call for was a man who was going to have his tree removed, and was very, very upset. Dr. Hobbs was out of the office. I left a note on his door. I left a voice on his email, and I took this gentleman's number home with me. I called him from home because the office was going to close and let him know that Dr. Hobbs would get back with him first thing in the morning. He did not have his tree removed. He was able to save his tree, but he really appreciated the service we provide, and we do make a point of getting back with people and helping them as much as we can. Most of the other things that Chris has done with the number of homes coming in, we want to be able to service the homeowners, especially with the HOAs that we have now. We have approximately 78 Master Gardeners, volunteers. We're required to do 35 hours of volunteering a year minimum. The total hours of benefit to the citizens of Clay County is at least 2,730 hours a year.
Just
If
finish it up, ma'am.
Pardon me?
If you could just finish up for us.
Okay, if we were paid $20 an hour, that would be $54,600. As of today, we have over 4,000 hours.
Awesome.
So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Lizette.
Hi, good evening. My name is Lisette Fianak. I'm at 1110 Walnut Street here in Green Cove Springs. I work at the local Head Start here. On July 24th, I wrote to the county commissioners about hearing the IFAS extension program was going to be cut. They serve our most vulnerable populations, our children. The consumer science, the family and consumer science program assistant visits our classrooms throughout the school year, and the children learn, they provide fun evidence-based lessons on nutrition, kindness curriculum, gardening. The program assistant also speaks at our parent meetings. They offer practical information. This is important since federal funding no longer exists for SNAP Ed in our area. Extension is our only source for evidence-based nutrition education. These services complement what we do in Head Start and provide resources that many parents would not otherwise have access to. The partnership between Head Start and Early Head Start and the IFAS extension has had a lasting impact on the children and families we serve. I hope you will continue to support Extension in these valuable educational opportunities and that they remain available in the community. At the last meeting, there was a lot of very well-spoken young people that are going to be our future leaders that were speaking about the benefits of the Extension program. I hope this isn't just a budget cut and it's something that is taken seriously. Education is always vital for our youth and for society. Please don't limit what the children and families in Clay County can learn just for budget cuts. We should all want to and strive to have a well-educated society. Please don't take away the valuable learning opportunities that the Extension and Family Consumer Science program offers. I did receive a reply to my email from the District 1 Commissioner. Sadly, my own District 5 Commissioner never replied, even when I forwarded her that reply. He stated that we should ask the school district to provide some services. He might not be aware that the Extension program also offers some of their services inside the public schools in the county. The District 1 Commissioner wrote about the importance of funding essential services. I absolutely understand the need to be for that to be funded, and it's rather insulting to be talked down to as if I don't understand their importance. I would like to reiterate how disappointing it is that my District 5 representative has not replied at all, and the funding cuts affect the children and family in her district. One would hope that with the new multi-million-dollar building that was recently completed, the people who manage the county's money would have had the foresight to continue this budget on maintain educational programs. There's a lot I want to say, but I thought taking care of all the residents in the county, young and old, is it's the core responsibility of the county. Education is worthwhile. Education is never wasteful. Education of children has always been an essential service, and having educated population is always a worthwhile endeavor. It strengthens us, as you were saying in the invocation. It is unfortunate that some do not agree on this important point. Please keep the extension program open. It is the right thing to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And we have Kelly Hartwig next.
Kelly Hartwig, 3420 Wall Road. I'm not talking about the extension. I want to give you both, all of you, my apologies. I unavoidably there was no way I could be here last month or last meeting. Had I been here, I would have been the one standing up here answering about Russell Plaza. I was the agent for Russell Plaza. I'm the designer and the site planner for Russell Plaza. I feel like, and it was totally unavoidable. There's no way I could have been here. Had I been, it would have made a big difference. I've talked to one of our Commissioner Burke, and I've also talked to the owner and said, look, you're gonna have to stay out of this and let me handle this, what I do. Reducing the sign, putting up the masonry wall are all doable. We could have done them in a heartbeat. And if I'd have been here, it would have gotten done. Now we've been asked about moving the 3-story building and shifting it around, no problem. So what I'm asking tonight is I would like you to give this thing some thought, put it up back in and give me 30 days to redo the site plan, to respond to these, to show these comments that we can do these and put it back before your plate rather than waiting the time period that would take under a normal circumstances. Again, I promise you, I will be standing here. I don't care if I have to cancel every client meeting in the world. I will be the one being here, not anybody else. So please give it some additional consideration. I think it is a good project. I think there is a good compromise that will satisfy the neighbors and satisfy the owners and really give it a better uses and restrict the uses to what it should be. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there any other public comment? All right, so as the district commissioner for Tamarack Grill, I would like to ask for the vote to be reconsidered and rescinded. This area needs help. I do feel like the residents were amenable to everything that was gonna happen there, except for the sign and other things that, that we didn't approve of. So anyway, that would be my, ask. And to give them 30 days to, continue it for 30 days for them to see what else they can come up with.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. You have my support.
Okay, so it's a motion.
Sure.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to rescind the vote and continue for 30 days. Go ahead.
Rescind the last vote,
The vote.
last meeting's vote, and give them 30 days to come back.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a motion, go ahead.
Sorry, one clarifying question, probably for Courtney. Does it go back to planning or will it just come straight back to us?
It can come straight back, but I would make it contingent on re-advertising.
Yeah. Okay.
So then my motion would have to include that. I'm good with it.
All right, and a second?
Yes.
Okay, so motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And thank you, everyone. All right, we'll move on to consent agenda. I'll take a motion.
I'll provide a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. And moving right along, we will go to discussion updates, progress report on the bonded transportation program and other capital projects from the capital projects team.
Good evening to the board through the chair. Ed Dendor, Program Administrator for the Bond Transportation Program. We'll go ahead and get started for project number one, County Road 218 from Masters Pit to Pine Tree Lane. The county's team and Anderson Columbia continued our bi-monthly status meetings. Anderson Columbia continued the installation of drainage structures, pipes, sub-base, base material, curbing sidewalk, base asphalt, and median work along the north side of the project. Corcon, a subcontractor to Anderson Columbia, continued to make repairs to the liner in pond number 3. This project is 77% paid out with 110% of the time used. An extension for the time is anticipated due to numerous weather impact days, as well as some CCWA conflicts along the adjacent properties. For project number 2, County Road 209 from US 17 to Peters Creek Bridge, the county's team in Superior continued their bi-monthly status meeting. Superior completed the construction of the clay cutoff walls at pond number 2 and moving the clay material from pond 2 to pond 3, completing the clay lining at pond 3 as well. The project is on schedule with 83% paid out and 80% of the time spent. Project 3B, which is Sand Ridge Road and County Road 209 with the swoosh and the roundabout at County Road 209B. Kiewit completed the placement of sod and replaced some of the damaged sidewalk along the project to achieve final completion with 94.5% paid out and 5% still held in retention. The County of Kiewit are working through a claims dispute resolution at this time. For project number 5, County Road 220, the design team received 2 follow-up comments on August 3rd from the St. Johnsville Water Management District related to the permit modification. The team will be providing responses to those inquiries this week. Once those responses are submitted, the agency has an additional 30-day permit review time window, which will restart. And for Project 6A, the team is working with the Army Corps on the mitigation bank to true up the bank mitigation ledger to ensure all mitigation credits are being used correctly and for the proper type. And projects 3A, 3B, 4, and 6B are all complete. In support of all this work, WGI continues to work on project management and inspection services. As of July 21st, the program has expended $167.7 million. And lastly, the BTP Historical Storyboard is now on the county website. That concludes my update. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair, if I may. Ed, any idea how long the extension's going to be on Project 1?
Not at this time. Again, we're working with the CEI in the field and the contractor. They go day for day looking at what the weather impact actually was. As an example, you could have 1 or 2 days of good rain that may delay 3 or 4 days because you have to recover back those days. So they're working through the details of the past history, and we should have that here shortly, though. I know they're close.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? When is project 2 set to finish?
Yeah, it should be this fall, project 2, which is Russell,
okay.
and yes.
Oh,
yes,
great.
ma'am.
Awesome, very close.
We're getting really close.
Yeah, those two left turn lanes were very nice this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
Switching hats,
I saw
yes, sir.
a video of a broken pipe. Is that part of the BTP project?
I have not seen any video of broken pipes, and if there was, I probably would have seen it or heard about it.
CCUA pipe? I see Mr. Johnson
That
sitting back.
area is closer to the Green Cove Springs service. That's the east side of the track is Green Cove Springs.
I think he's talking about something that happened this morning.
A big black,
Oh,
No,
it's SDOT.
I'm getting the wave off. That might have been FDOT then.
We will, Madam Chair, if it's, and we will address that, what's going on in 21.
I saw Mr. Johnson's there. I figured it was his pipe.
Nope, not his pipe. Water Management District. Where's Doug?
He didn't show up tonight.
He's noticeably absent tonight.
I was on the phone with Doug before 7 this morning.
He might have his rubber boots on then.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. All right.
Hearing on switching hats from Bond Transportation, update on the capital projects from 6 directors. Teddy Myers, Tourism Director, Justin Pierce, Parks and Recreation Director, Eric Pope, Public Works Director, Gene Price, Facility Operations and Maintenance Division Director, and seated to my right, Richard Smith, Director of Engineering, as well as myself, Capital Projects Director. The project data was compiled by Severina Minor, our Capital Projects Estimator Specialist. In general terms, overall, the county, the capital projects list consists of 262 projects. Total budget portfolio in workday is $216,274,000 with a spend rate of $159,381,000, split across 25 different departments. To date, the fiscal year of the total budget, Capital Projects Department is managing 86 of those 157 projects. Split across 13 different departments, accounting for roughly $101,685,000. 15 of those projects are now complete. For overall status on the public safety bond, so far to date, the county has spent $27.4 million, or roughly 42% of the $65 million in bond. For a quick rundown in numeric order of some of the highlights for the public safety and fire stations. Fire station number 1, construction is 69% complete and 49% paid out. Forecast completion for station 1 is fall of 26, this fall. Fire stations 13, 15, 16, and 21 are all 90% design complete. Specifically for fire station 15, the developer finished clearing and grubbing the site and started installing the stormwater structures and pipe. Forecast completion for that station is summer of 27. Fire Station 22, construction is 94% complete, 62% paid out. Forecast completion later this summer. And Fire Station 24, construction is well underway with 33% complete, 11% paid, with a forecast completion spring of 27. Scorpio has placed the floor slab and started installing the block wall. The old fire station double-wide trailer was dismantled and removed from the site, while the site stormwater ponds and piping were installed. Fire training facility, the modified design is 100% complete with a forecast completion summer of 27. Now to address a few of the additional vertical projects. The Wellness Pavilion, the project will create a dedicated break area where employees can step away from their office and promote overall physical and mental well-being. A civil engineer is being engaged for the site design. Then there's the fire rescue storage sheds. This project includes procurement and installation of 3 geared storage sheds for fire stations 14, 17, and 26. The county has executed an agreement with Baker Design Build for the storage sheds. The pre-construction meeting for the storage shed was held August 3rd, and the construction is anticipated to be completed this fall. On to our Substance Use Disorder Recovery Center. This project consists of remodeling an existing 10,000 square foot commercial building off of Henley Road and County Road 220 into the new recovery facility. The design is currently in progress with 100% design due January 27. The CMAR contractor is now on board while providing constructability analysis on the design. This project is forecast to complete summer of 27. Then there's Building 500 build out. This project consists of building out an unfinished space within the facility. The build out will give the Clay County Sheriff's Office much needed training space, office space, and a conference room. The project is currently under construction and is about 15% complete. And there's the fourth floor and entry design and renovation of the Clay County Courthouse. This project comprised of the build-out and renovation of about 17,000 square feet of the Clay County Courthouse here in Green Cove Springs. The scope also includes security enhancements to the entrance and exit points. Construction progress is currently at 90%, is on track for completion this fall. And Moccasin Slough, the boardwalk, the project consists of constructing a 2,690 linear foot elevated boardwalk through Moccasin Slough, located at 4393 Raggedy Point Road in Fleming Island. The project is roughly 15% complete with the path cleared and construction started on the boardwalk. Forecast completion spring of next year. And lastly, with a deep breath here, a note on the Economic Development Building next door. The team held a ribbon cutting ceremony on July 28th, where we welcomed the public for an open house tour of the facility. And just this past Friday, the project was recognized by ABC, Florida First Coast Association of Building and Contractors, an award in excellence in construction. This prestigious award celebrates the collaborative triumph of the entire project team while recognizing the outstanding contributions of our architect, Walker Architects, our prime contractor, Scorpio, with the support of their subcontractors, all represented here this evening with Ryan Taylor here in the audience, and including multiple county departments and their leadership, from Gene and his facilities team, Dean with his contingent and MIS, Steve and his inspectors in the permitting department, as well as our capital projects department with Works guiding hand, and at the helm of our day-to-day implementation of the project was Craig Singleton, our project manager, seated here to my rear. And lastly, our county leadership, Howard, Sharice, Troy, and so here presented this evening, I'd like to present to the board an award that was presented to the team. If I could approach the dais.
Of course. Wow. Very nice.
To the county.
Gosh.
That concludes my remarks. And I'll turn over the microphone to
Look at that.
Richard.
Beautiful. Wow.
Thank you, Ed. Richard Smith, County Engineer. I didn't bring any eagles.
He didn't bring an eagle.
No.
bling, huh?
I did bring a picture of a board we had, but we'll talk about it later. The County Road 220 bridge is looking like a bridge. We are very close. The project is on schedule. The four lanes leading up from Nightbox to the bridge have been paved. We're still on schedule for the October 17th opening and doing everything we can to maybe accelerate that. The drainage repairs have been are nearing completion and will be completed prior to opening everything, of course. Radar Road, if you've been out there, and some of us have, some have, is changing. I've got a picture there of the way the roundabout will look as it nears the way a roundabout should be built for traffic purposes, not just, a decoration. And got some updates that we're looking at the traffic shift from US 17 access, the way you come in now, in and out. Switching that to Town Center Boulevard is scheduled for mid-November. We will work closely with the church and with the county library staff to make sure that's a smooth transition with all the holiday events going at those facilities. So, our resurfacing projects update, Hubbard, Atlantic Coast Asphalt is nearing completion of resurfacing operation in a neighborhood off of Camp Francis Johnson Road. Final thermoplastic striping for Doctors Lake Drive will be completed in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and the resurfacing team will be shifting to Fox Meadows soon. When I say soon, we're thinking however long it takes to drive from Camp Francis Johnson down Old Jennings to get there. So they should be starting in the next week or two. So in Keystone, we've got a dirt road paving project that's challenging. It's challenging without paving the dirt road. It is there's a lot of good things that come from a drought, including no complaints on a flooded road that floods even when it just has a light rainfall. This one is like that, and it's about 2 blocks from the edge of Keystone Heights High School. I was fortunate enough to be out there last Sunday when it was flooded. We had someone that had fell into the mud hole, so we have since blocked it off. And it'll remain blocked until the drainage structures are installed, which they have been installed. And we're hoping that now we want to get a test to see if they're going to work. But if you go out there, you can see these streets are in the middle of Keystone. It'd be like having in the middle of Eagle Harbor or, Orange Park, two dirt roads that were just kind of forgotten. These were forgotten. They're in the county. They're not in the city limits. And we should have those ready by October, weather permitting. Our FDOT update's gonna begin there at the 209 intersection. They did get both lanes open today. We got a call from a very concerned citizen who was concerned that school was gonna be, we're gonna open it without the two left turn lanes. We've had school for a long time without those two left turn lanes. We were able to get them open and it ran fairly smoothly. There is a lighting issue. There's a timing issue right now that one of my inspectors called and he was waiting through 4 cycles. I said, go make a U-turn. When you make the U-turn, pull into Duval Asphalt's job site and tell them the situation because it's not something that we can fix. Remember, when it's under construction, it belongs to that contractor for any repairs and maintenance. So, but that project, if you go out there, you'll see that we're getting very close to the Bahama Bluff signalized being ready. It changes a lot of things in that area. It's going to be hopefully much more efficient. And that project extends all the way down south of Ferris Street in Green Cove and is scheduled to be completed around March 20th of 27. So we've got about 5 more months, but Duval seems to be much more responsive on this project than they have been on earlier ones. Blanding Boulevard is still continuing. That is a DOT project that we pretty much are just present. We don't really have a lot of on-site or daily oversight of that whatsoever, and it's scheduled to be completed in November. So that's going to be another change to that specific area. 16, State Road 16 going from the regional park to downtown Green Cove, that resurfacing is underway. It's hit or miss. We all know you can go there in the middle of the day and get stopped. You can drive through it other times and be completely smooth. But that project will be completed by late December. It should be done by this calendar year. Looking ahead, we've got our dirt road projects have been completed. There's some final striping and sod placement will be placed. I haven't had a lot of phone calls ringing off the hook or giving us awards for them, but they really, Shed Road especially, turned out very well, and it will get even more improved. One other side note, Commissioner Condon, on the area down in the south end of the county near Holly Hill, Grove Road, I have met with Florida DOT today. We're going to speak on this on Monday morning. We're going to see if Public Works can remove the asphalt apron for the old entrance into Melrose Road. They've given us permission to do that. So we're going to coordinate that, get that sodded, and hopefully that won't be
Dumping ground.
unauthorized mattress dumping ground, because that's what it is now. And it's very unsightly. So that we got worked out this afternoon.
Thank you.
Resurfacing, again, we will be going into Fox Meadows, and then following Fox Meadows, we'll shift into the Tanglewood neighborhood for one street in there. We'll have Pawnee Street to do, which is a long street through the neighborhood. I did find out that for any folks that drive around Kingsley Lake and go to Stark, it is a very bumpy road when you cross the county line. That resurfacing project will begin in January, and that will go from the triangle at 616 all the way to downtown Stark. So even though it's 2 projects, it'll be done at one time by one contractor. That one, however, is being headed out of Gainesville, so it'll be some new contacts for us. We don't do a lot with that FDOT district.
I believe, Richard, that includes sidewalks coming into Clay to finish the sidewalks.
I know they are going to definitely improve and bring the existing sidewalks up to ADA compliance. I've always said the Great Trail would be a connection. 230, I think, at one time in the 40s was built and laid out in a 4-lane road. They only built 2 of it. They even built the bridges where they needed the 3rd and 4th lanes. That'd be an easy trail section to bring up from Bradford into Clay around to the regional park. But we've spoken with the CEI, and I know the ones around Blanding Street, there's a Blanding Street, as well as Seminole in that area around the old fire station. Those will be brought up to ADA standards.
Okay.
Not sure about any extension, because it's pretty much DuPont and Camp Blanding from there all the way to the county line, or Camp Blanding, isn't it?
Right,
So,
okay.
we did kick off the designer on the 217 bridge project this week. So we've been out there. We will, looking at 30% complete plans in the first quarter of 27. So we've got about 3 or 4 months to wait on that and get them. The Sun Trail project, that'll extend the Live Oak Lane Trail that we built down to Blanding Boulevard by way of Long Bay and Old Jennings Road. Those 90% plans the review will be finished Thursday by FDOT. We're planning on a construction bidding date in October to select a contractor, hopefully with construction beginning in January of 27. And we did, as Ed's Eagle will share his Eagle wing on this one, the Lakeshore Drive West project, the intersection just east of Whitey's before the Swimming Pin Bridge, that received the Best in Construction Award for the Local Access Management Program from the Florida DOT in District 2. We were pleased with it because it finished 75 days ahead of schedule. They were pleased with it because they handled the CEI and the oversight, and it was just a very well-done project, very under budget. I think we looked today, and there's a few dollars there that went back to DOT on that, so we were very pleased with it. So, any questions?
Madam Chair, if I may step in, I was going to have Richard brief during my comments, but if the board doesn't mind to talk about 21 and the washout, if that's okay.
JB, go ahead and do it.
Before we get to that, I don't know who we poked, Jim Knight at DOT about the Eldridge project. Superior has cleaned it up tremendously, but they're still there. They're still digging around the ponds or doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but
Organizing signs.
but it almost looks like civilization up there instead of,
Well, I think it kind of shows as we give DOT 10 years, they can finish the project. So we'll look at the positive side, but that is a big step.
it's been a while, I'll tell you.
It has been, and that's good news. Yes, ma'am.
Before you go into that, can you tell me, because I have this ask a lot, and I want to know myself, Bahama Bluff, when that light turns, I mean, you already have that light at 209, and you have a light right away after that. How does that work?
It's gonna be interesting. It'll be the closest that we have to it would probably be what Commissioner Reniger is speaking of is Eldridge and Old Orange Park Way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coordination there. You know, then you throw in an access into probably 100,000 gallon a month service station, one of our busiest
Right.
racetrack stations there in the county. It's gonna be a challenge, and it'll be all about timing, meaning the lights will all work, even though they're at Bahama Bluff and 17, 209 and 17, they have to work as one, almost, meaning they'll have to just make sure you don't get stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
If you recall back, one of the earlier things we looked at, Commissioner Burke, had everyone turning left going home in the afternoon to 209, actually going north 1,000 feet, making a U-turn.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah,
would've
so
been
you know,
helpful, right.
this is a much better solution than that. But that solution not only was planned, it was drawn, ready to be implemented, and it's just way too many turns. But the dual left turn should shorten the overall length, because you got two lanes going in the same 30-second time period where we had one. So theoretically, you'll have twice as many cars going. The problem is gonna be, is the Bahama Bluff, is how that will be timed, because that'll have to shut everything down to allow it to go through.
I'm just envisioning, will cars get beyond the intersection because they didn't stop in time, you know?
It's gonna be a learning curve. And it'll be a learning curve both for the motorists as well as for the signal technicians. And we've got really, on my staff, they're really the best. Now, we aren't doing it now, but once TCD, the signal company that's in charge of it now. We have a very good relationship with them. They'll hand it off to our guys, to Mr. Steve Brooker, 27 years with the county, and he and Jesse will make sure it flows smoothly.
Right, okay.
So,
All right. Anybody else questions about any of that? Okay, then we'll go on to your,
well, I woke up this morning at the 6 o'clock hour to Chief Leroy calling me, and I haven't heard from Chief Leroy even unless it's something really important. And this one was. And we had a really, Commissioner Condon and I have some personal issues on this, but we were over the moon, happy and ecstatic. The video showing the water flowing from the Black Creek project, which Black Creek is named that probably because of the color of the water. The water flowing that, by the way, today reached Immokalee Road. That water was as clear as if it were coming out of Blue Springs. It was beautiful. Whatever method they used worked. The tannins were out. Well, that pipe is a 24-inch pipe that goes from a pumping station at the county the current animal control facility, just to the west of it. From there to the 1621 intersection and south into a stormwater pond area that was built north of Lake Brooklyn on Camp Blanding property. That's where it's treated and refined and comes out as clear water. It's been ready to be pumped since July of 2025. We just have not had enough rainfall that allowed it to get, the creek to get to a level, which is 25 cubic feet per second, to pump from. There is anyone that if you read the edict in the description from St. John's Water Management District, it says when it gets to high flow levels up to flood stage, not when it gets to flood stage. Read all the words. Don't just read the one that have flood in it. So it wasn't a situation of this flood stage going in, we turn the pumps on and save Middleburg and fill up the lakes. When it gets over 25 cubic feet per second, that's when they come on. And that's not much more than maybe a half-inch rainfall a couple days in a row. We got that. We finally got that since July 27th. That area of the county has had, in 27th, that's 15 days, we've had about 12 inches of rainfall in places. Some places a little bit more. Downtown Keystone, where the project I showed you was, they've had about 9.5 inches. So it's rained a lot there. And the streak, it came up, they had enough water to start it. It filled up the treatment ponds, and then it started going out into the lake. That's when we got our first clue. Since 13 months, this has been ready, that this water was going to come out looking like it is. Then this morning, it appears from talking to one of the representatives on site with St. Johns River Water Management District that where the pipe goes under a stream called Wolf Branch that comes out of Camp Blanding about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile south of the intersection of 16 and 21. It's a plastic pipe from the pumping station to there. Then as it goes under the stream, they put in a ductile iron metal pipe where they put the adapter to change that from plastic to metal. That appears where the failure was, and there was a failure. And this is 24-inch diameter, 2-foot diameter pipe flowing full. Your water hoses are about 3/4 of an inch. So it was, about 30 times bigger than your water hose. When I got there this afternoon at 1 o'clock, everything was shut down and the water draining out of the pipe because it has to drain, and this happens to be a low point. There were 200,000 gallons of water in the pipe that had to drain out. That's the volume we're talking about. It pumps 10 million gallons a day, and it's been pumping at 10 million gallons a day probably since about, I'd say around August 1st, probably for the past 8 or 10 days. It's taken that many gallons to get to the point where it's almost, may even be in Brooklyn Lake. So we were going to really start seeing if this was how the difference was going to be. The update is we're a team. We got the state called and needed a compactor to compact the asphalt. It looks like the repair will be completed tonight. We were able, our Public Works Department at 3:15, got a truck loaded, and they went down there and they're going to do the compaction for them. So if not, we'd have had to wait until the stores opened up tomorrow and DOT could have brought one in. So we partnered, we got with them. We're down there working with them now, just doing that part. And from what we heard from, it's being repaired out of the St. John's, out of the St. Augustine maintenance yard. They're hoping to finish it tonight, and maybe by morning rush hour, morning drive coming in, both lanes will be open. So hat tip to DOT for doing that. St. John's is on site. Jeremy Johnson's here from the Clay County Water Authority. I'd like for him to say a few things because he had the most people on site today. He had about 7 people out there, Jeremy. DOT had about 5 all in the truck waiting, and St. John's River Water Management had a couple of people. So it's a true team effort. Jeremy?
I got the same phone call when I arrived at work at 6:20 in the morning. My superintendent walks up to me and says, "Hey, who do you know at the Water Management District?" And so the phone calls started. When I was talking to Clay and describing the situation on 21, he said that sounds like a big deal, and I'm like, yes, it is a very big deal, and hence it continued to cascade from there. The pipeline is actually a 30-inch pipeline. It's not 24, because that's important, because we do not have any assets that are above 24-inch in our system, and that's why we could not deploy, because we don't maintain that type of pipeline in our inventory. And so now, when I was down in Palaca, so as luck would have it, I was at the St. Johns River Water Management District Governing Board, and even then there was coordination that was going on. JEA was there as well, and they were coordinating for the fittings and other things like that. So they should be en route. I understood that they located parts in Orlando and were going to be coming up rapidly. I understand we deployed a couple of pumps trying to get the water off of the pipeline. We're also looking at some of the underlying issues that may have caused the failure, and hopefully our team can assist in some fashion to correct it and get that thing back in operational condition. One of the things post-event that was in one of the conversations with Mike Register and I this afternoon, sometimes it makes sense to maybe engage us, considering we have maintenance trucks that roll up and down Blanding Boulevard all day, every day, between Keystone Heights and our main system, where we have the different capabilities with the valve keys and other things like that. We can generally respond anywhere between there within about 30 minutes, which would have seriously saved a lot of condition on that road. So there'll be additional conversations of how we could collaborate quicker. So that's what I know to this point.
It was a team effort, and I say your people were there. It was a construction site. There was no way to repair it. It was literally under 5, 6, 8 feet of water. So it had to be removed. First of all, it had to be stopped. And not only turned the pumps off, they turned the valves off. Then it took it took a couple hours for those 2 or 3, probably 7 miles of 30-inch pipe to drain out. And that water didn't just disappear. Their crew, that's why your people were there, was manning the pumps. I understand now. So,
all right.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Any questions involving that? But we're hoping, I wasn't concerned about the repair of the pipe. That's theirs, but we just want to make sure that we could I think we found out how many people live in Keystone and come to Orange Park and Middleburg for employment, because it was a pretty big 3-mile backup from a couple of my people that were coming up this morning. It was significant. So, anything else?
All right.
Thank you.
Good, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Eagle
Right.
has landed. Eagle has
Yes. All right, we're gonna move on to 5 o'clock time certain. We have public hearing on ordinance and resolution to amend the capital improvement plan and resolution for other budget adjustments. Staff is requesting a continuance of this item to August 25th, 2026 board meeting. And I will open the public hearing. Anyone? Close the public hearing. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to final public hearing to consider adoption of Comp 26-0012. This application is an amendment to the comprehensive plan to add the Brandonville institutional land use. Staff is requesting a continuance of this item to the September 8th, 2026 board meeting, and I'll open the public hearing. Close the public hearing. Take a motion.
Madam Chair, I would move to continue it, and I just would like to say, there is a church that wants to go in the Brandonville master plan area. That's when they realized that we didn't have a zoning and land use, that matched up. So my understanding is it's being moved to September 8th to match up with the zoning change.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion is second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And passes. 5-0. Public hearing to consider zoning 26-0012. This application is Land Development Code text amendment to Article 3 to add the Brandonville Institution District. Staff recommends a continuance to this to the September 8th, 2026 board meeting also. I'll open the public hearing. Close the public hearing. Take a motion.
I'll move approval of the continuance to the September 8th board meeting.
Second motion.
All right, motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move back to 18, active and upcoming formal solicitations with Jessica Lose.
Good evening, Jessica Lowe's, Purchasing Manager for the county, briefing the active, upcoming, and formal solicitations. So for our active solicitations, we have the public-private partnership to design, build, and finance a public safety complex in Clay County. 4 bids were received. The evaluation committee is scheduled to meet on this upcoming Monday, and this is scheduled for the September 8th board meeting. We have the Knights Marina and Lakeshore Boat Ramp Repair, Redevelopment, and Improvements. 3 bids were received, and this is scheduled for the August 25th board meeting. The EOC HVAC Demolition and Replacement, 2 bids were received, and this is scheduled for the August 25th board meeting. We have Fire Station 17 Shower Addition. The bids are due August 24th, and that is scheduled to come to the board on September 8th. We have the impact fee study update, legal review, extraordinary circumstances analysis, and ordinance update. The bids are due October 27th for this, and it's scheduled for September 22nd to come to the board. And we have the indigent decedent services. The bids are due August 27th for that, and it's scheduled for September 22nd to come to the board. And then for the upcoming August, September, and this is in no certain order, we have the fairgrounds water improvements, the countywide sidewalk and concrete repairs, jail recreation yard waterproofing roof repairs, the Washington Avenue box culvert repair, this is a FEMA project, the Bear Run South lease, the lease of county property for telecommunication services, the public-private partnership for the Clay County Regional Park expansion, that's from an unsolicited proposal we received. Annual roadway striping and pavement marking services, the pavement assessment, and the roll-off container services for the environmental convenience centers. And does the board have any questions on any of them?
Anyone?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. All right. We will move on to letters for action, discussion of reappointment to the Clay County Historic Preservation Board. Application was received from Sean Atwell for reappointment to District 1 seat.
I'll move we approve Mr. Atwell's application for reappointment.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Atwell. Discussion of appointment to the Oak Leaf Brandon Ridge Citizens Advisory Committee. Application was received from Denistris Marie Robertson for consideration of appointment. Can I have a motion?
I'll move approval
I
of
have
her
a-
appointment.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, letters for documentation, bid opening tabulations for July 28, 2026 for the EOC HVAC demolition and replacement. All right, and we will move on to our second public comment. Do I have any public comment? Anyone? All right, I'll close the public comment and go right to county attorney.
Our office still has the action item that we're looking at for Commissioner Condon on the golf carts and low-speed vehicles. Otherwise, we're working through, on the stormwater study information in preparation for the next board meeting. Just let us know if there's anything else.
All right, thank you. County manager.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, just a few comments here. First off, Blanding Road and State Road 21, it was reported in at approximately between 5 and 5:30 in the morning. I have to emphasize the fact that if you see something, say something, right? And that's really where it began. And from there, assets were deployed, both from fire rescue, from public works, to determine where was this water coming from, you know, and immediately it goes into everybody thinking it's CCUA as an example. I received a call and a text from the sheriff. Was it kind of an avenue and a line of communication that I received on it. And it's interesting when you gather all of this information, it builds that picture. The picture was quickly built. We brought in Tim from Emergency Management also, and you can understand kind of the fear here, especially with the road collapsing and possible loss of life. So it was extremely important that that timeline went quickly. And by really about 8 o'clock in the morning, and that kind of gives you that timeline, we were about there and understanding the problem and what we needed to do and kind of the follow-on effects. Some of the other things that we talk about that maybe the community doesn't see is the fact that the fire chief notified me we have to move assets to Keystone, right? So that we can cover calls in the southern part of the county, assets and leadership needed to be moved down there also. Because when you have this road that we didn't know whether it was going to completely cave in or not, where it's really down to one lane, action needed to be taken sooner than later. All in all, when Richard said it was a team effort, completely. And you can even see from CCUA's standpoint, if he had the resources, he would have went right into action to fix that couple, right? But the biggest limiting factor was how fast that water was coming out. And I asked him to send each one of you pictures, and because you don't understand kind of the sheer force and what was really involved until you saw the pictures and the video. So across the board, it was definitely a team effort. We will do a forensics and a wrap up of it to, as Jeremy alluded to, how can we do this better and quicker? You know, how could we get the pump turned off quicker and things like that? But who knew that this pipeline would develop a leak? You know, it had been going on for at least a week, if not two, with lots of water going through it. So I just want to thank everybody for their leadership, their professionalism, that was able to really roll up their sleeves and get out there and get this thing fixed. I was worried about the length of time. And you can see with Richard and what he and I discussed, and then the assets to bear there, we need to quickly get this road back up to speed. It may not be perfect, but we got to get people to and from home, to their schools and that. And for the first day of school, once again, another aspect of it, okay, there was a curveball thrown and we were able to get through it. So again, thank you, Undersheriff, and pass my thanks to CCSO, to Fire, Emergency Management, all of the assets and all the stakeholders that were available there. Okay, the next one was, so I'm not gonna ask Tim to come up. They're out in the Atlantic. There's a greater than 60% chance of a depression that's out there that's forming. Though he has assured me it's going to turn northwest, that's out there. But I say this because we have so many other things going on, little ones going to school, and that rest assured we're tracking these storms. There's one up in the northern Atlantic too that's heading the other way, which is great for us. But you can't wait till the last minute to be prepared. Okay, you got to think about your contingency plans. You got to think all about that, in addition to getting little ones to school to and from home. So I just wanted to let you all know that there'll be more to follow, and we'll open those lines of communication and ensure that everybody's informed, and if it becomes a threat. The last thing I have on some good news, and it's really a good time to take advantage of the tax holiday for the start of school. It's been going on since mid-July. It ends August 20th. I mean, you can buy clothing and footwear that's under $100. You can get supplies under $50 still, learning aids under $30, and a personal computer that's under $1,500. We know probably a lot of the kiddos are using those, along with AI, right? But just to emphasize that, now's to take advantage of that tax savings. And I just want to emphasize that to the community and to go out and take advantage of it. But pending any questions, that's really all I had for the board.
Thank you.
Yeah, to take advantage of every casualty you get, and this break in the 30-inch water main, or whatever you want to call it, brings to mind the infrastructure under the ground. It's unknown, and this was a fairly new pipe, maybe 3 years old. We have some pipes that are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. So it's just unknown, and we gotta deal with it. We had Lee Wilsey here talking from the regional council. One of the things that's chronicled on the back of the sheet is the military installation readiness review. And in the past, we just conducted a tabletop exercise on Tuesday. And in the past, it was usually a hurricane. How do you get all the aircraft out of where they go, and high value equipment out of the path? Because there were only 2 named storms this year, and the likelihood of a real hurricane is unlikely, is what the forecasters, right, Tim? Is what the forecasters are saying. They did a tabletop on wildfire, which is very appropriate right now with all the dryness we had. So we had a great tabletop exercise, and what it brought to mind, or what it brought to our attention, is there's assets near these military installations that the military installations didn't know were there. One of them was a water main at Keystone Airport that Blanding didn't even know was there, and so this brought all the colleagues together, all of our colleagues together, and just talk about how would they react with a wildfire that was uncontrolled, what assets they would use, and such. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about e-bikes a little bit. We have a great, the Sheriff's Office did a great video on e-bikes, and just to remind everybody, an e-bike has pedals. If it doesn't have pedals, it's an e-motorcycle, it's an electric motorcycle. Electric motorcycle is regulated by the state. It's a vehicle. It needs to be registered. It needs to be licensed. The driver has to be 16, have a driver's license, and have a what do they call it? Motorcycle permit or motorcycle endorsement. It probably has to be insured. It probably has to have lights, turn signals, and all that kind of stuff. So for the parents that are listening, e-bikes have pedals. If it doesn't have pedals, it could be a scooter. Scooter doesn't have a seat. So if your electric conveyance has no pedals and it's electric, it's a motorcycle. It's an electric motorcycle. So I'd be very careful about getting my child an electric motorcycle. They're very high power. Young people don't understand the risk and how to manage that asset. So, and let's see. Lastly,
early voting has started, so I want, that's how you get the people in there you want. So go to your polls are open from
10 to 6.
10 to 6.
10 to 6. And so get out there before the primary. That's all I have. Thank you.
Right. Commissioner Camara.
So while the county manager was speaking this afternoon, or just now in his comments, I couldn't help but think about the incidents that we have seen across Clay County this year. And it took me directly to the fire that was on the Clay-Putnam line and then this morning. But what struck me the most was that our relationships here in Clay County run deep, and they withstand a tremendous amount of stress. And I am just eternally grateful for those who just roll up their sleeves and get the job done. I'm more grateful tonight than I've been, which is saying a lot. I'm more grateful tonight than I've been in a long time to live in Clay County and be a part of the infrastructure here. We have amazing people on the front lines, and I was already proud to be a Clay County resident, lifelong. I was already proud to be a Floridian, already proud to be an American, but tonight it strikes a different chord, and I'm just grateful. And I want to say a special thank you to the county manager for his exceptional leadership. That's all I've got.
Commissioner Schwartz?
Yep, so today was a big day. Some either really happy or really disappointed students, but all happy parents, as today was the first day of school in Clay County. Just a reminder, there's little ones getting on and off the bus. There's drivers and there's school zones. So when you see the flashing lights, slow down, pack your patience. You never know when a little one's going to walk out from a bus. So just take your time, and best of luck to all the students and teachers and administrators. Mr. Brodsky used to be my boss back in the day, and he always talks about education is the only industry that stops and starts every year. So it's kind of exciting that the first day of school is always a super exciting day. As JB said, early voting, the actual primary election day is August 18th. So you still have some time this week for the early voting, and make sure you get out there. Last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with the CEO of Baptist Health. He reached out through Ed Hubel with the hospital that's in District 1, Baptist Clay, and was doing a listen and learn tour with all of the counties that Baptist serves. So we sat down and were able to discuss all the great things that Baptist is doing in Clay County, but also what's on the horizon with the growth in our community. And all of us know in South Green Cove there is not a hospital. So they talked about those opportunities in the community. Also, some of the cutting edge workforce development things that Baptist is doing. They have built a training center, a educational training center off of Phillips Highway that has every single environment that is within their hospital system. They have a mock operating room. They have a mock waiting room. They have a mock patient room where they can actually train people in a low stress, low low risk environment, And so that's really good. They're doing great things, and I appreciate CEO Zanino coming out and listening to what we got going on in Clay. Just a reminder to all of our residents, all of our emails and cell phone numbers are on our county website. So if you have questions, reach out. Please reach out. I know me personally, I'm your commissioner, sir, and thank you for sticking around. Shoot me a text at that number, call me, email me, and we can go over any questions that you may have. I get it. The county has a lot of moving parts, and sometimes we just got to take some time to discuss what we're doing. UF IFAS. So I had the opportunity to meet with the president of UF IFAS, Dr. Johnson. We spoke a lot about the program as a whole in the state of Florida, not just in Clay County, but all 67 counties, as mandated by state statute, have this program. One of the things that I wanted to bring back to you that I would ask all of you to consider is, of the more than $500,000 that this board invests in that program, they have 6 agents that are actually in schools, working with volunteers, etc. One of the things that's a bit troubling to me about the funding is those 6 agents have 3 administrative assistants. That is a 2-to-1 ratio of agent to administrative assistant. I can't tell you any other department within our county, nor that our partners have, that has that type of infrastructure. So when you're looking at $600,000 worth of funding, 200 grand is going to admin assistance. I don't know if that's the best and highest use of tax dollars. And with as tight as we're trying to make things, it needs to be looked at. So I would advise you to look into that. Call people at schools that are with these programs. I told a student the other day that is a 4-H student that my goal, I'm one of 5 commissioners, my goal is to protect the program for the students and the master gardeners. But it's also our job as elected officials to ask questions. Where are you using the money? What are you using the money for? And there's a lot of room for efficiency. Dr. Johnson, in the meeting, admitted to me that there is some room to tighten up their operations, and that's exactly what we need to do. So that's kind of the update on that, and I just would ask all of you to kind of do your research as we move in the process. Last 2 things is, number 1, the fall iteration of Commissioner for a Day. The application's open on Monday, so for any Clay County seniors, be sure to get your application in. It'll be at the September 22nd meeting is when we'll do the Commissioner for a Day. It's a very exciting program that gives you an opportunity to see what all 5 of us do. And the last thing I want to say tonight is that this budget season's been very tough, very tough. It's been heavy on my heart as well, as you saw tonight, the competing priorities that we all deal with. And for our citizens, I think a lot of them, especially with stormwater, a lot of them that I've called on the phone, once I explain what we're doing and what we're looking at doing and why, most people have said, well, that makes a lot of sense. And that's something that I would expect the government to do, is to protect our community from natural resources going awry and those types of things. As Commissioner Renninger said, just like you have to maintain your house or you have to maintain your vehicle, our job is to protect the community. We sometimes may disagree on how we're going to do that, but that is the number 1 job of this board, is to proactively and for the future. And I think that's what people forget. I'm going to go off the cuff here a little bit, but sometimes the right thing to do is not the politically expedient thing to do. And that's tough sometimes. It's tough, but it's where my heart is. But anyways, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would ask Mr. County Manager that when you talk about your after action for this morning, that you would add the district commissioner in. My first phone call this morning was the news media. And I got a phone call from Tim, and I appreciated it very much, but it was an hour and a half after I had talked to the news media, and then I got a text from Laura later. And so I was, it was the, hey, do you know why State Road 21's closed? And I'm flat-footed. And I know that we're not the most important. I agree, Commissioner Compere, so grateful that we have such great partners, and the beauty of the relationships from JEA to CCUA to the Water Management District to the county, all responding, and DOT, and grateful for that. Certainly not the first that needs to be notified, but it would be nice to know. And sometimes the sheriff will call us, but at any rate, I would ask that y'all would add that in for some sort of communication. I wanted to say that as far as traffic management goes, someone asked, at a public comment earlier tonight, they talked about traffic management. The roads that were mentioned are state roads, and we don't manage the traffic on 17 and 21, Blanding Boulevard, State Road 100. All of those are state roads and our community, so we don't manage the traffic on those. Really don't have control over those. And now State Road 23, I guess, is also one. I wanted to let you know that I had the pleasure last Monday night of attending the City of Keystone Heights City Council meeting with Senator Bradley, former Senator, now Chairman of the Water Management District, Rob Bradley.
they gave Vivian Katz James the key to the city. She has decided to retire again from Save Our Lakes organization. So she's still staying on as emeritus. She's staying, I get more texts from her, so she's still on, but it was a very nice presentation. They actually gave her an actual key, and the mayor presented her with this coin that the Florida League of Cities gave their board of directors, which she's on. They only gave them 5 of these beautiful coins of people who have done great things for the city. So I thought that was really special that she was given that. I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to say for those in the public that I, and I'm sure the rest of my fellow commissioners do too, we read every single word of every single bit of the backup. Well, we read it ahead of time, and not on the board floor, and we ask staff our questions. So when people have, I agree with Commissioner Scromolo, you know, the agenda is published almost a week ahead. It's at least 5 days ahead. Read it, and if you have questions, ask us. We're available, and I think that that's important to, you may think of a question that we haven't thought of, but if you ask us on the board floor, that's too late. And the one gentleman asked about going out to Governor's Park. We've all been out there. So I just wanted to clarify that. And lastly, I think I would echo your sentiments, Commissioner Scromolo. You opened my eyes at that budget workshop to UF-IFAS and 4-H. The largest 4-H club in the county is actually in Keystone Heights. And if you were at the celebrity showmanship pig show this year, at the pig that I got to show, my little friend Callaway, Anthony, his mom is the leader of that 4-H club. She has 45 kids in her 4-H club. And I would encourage you, and I can get the county manager her contact information if you want to have a conversation with her. It's rather enlightening and not in a good way. So I think that there needs to be some recognition for the public that looking at funding doesn't necessarily correlate with elimination of a program, because 4-H is all volunteer led. And these club leaders and these club members, the children, they do a lot of fundraising. They're bound in their bylaws. They can't accept any fundraising that is not cash or check because, quote, it can't be tracked. I'm sorry, but cash is cash. Like, it's less trackable than like Venmo or Cash App. And then add to that there was a fundraising check that took 90 days to cash. They have a staff treasurer that works for UF-IFAS. So, and things get set aside, not trying to split hairs, but we all agree. We had great speakers last week from 4-H, today from Master Gardener. Everybody has what they care about with their program, and we don't want to see those programs go away. But I agree there could be efficiencies. I've asked for a meeting. The county manager and I are having a Teams call with Dr. Johnson later this week because I too, and I think there needs to be training. You know, through UF-IFAS, we also get our Institute for County Government. They provide our training as commissioners statewide. And so my question for one of my questions for Dr. Johnson is, what kind of training are they providing to, like, for instance, Wayne is an interim director. And if he hasn't been a director before, I love the promotion from within of their extension agents. What kind of training are they providing him? And are we just expecting him to know how to manage all these things? But Brittany, my 4-H leader, didn't know. She couldn't name the staff members. She said the staff members didn't come to their leader trainings for 4-H clubs. And so there's some things out there, and I'm not, hopefully nobody goes and beats up Brittany. She was gracious enough to just make phone calls. She spent an hour and a half on the phone with Wayne. She wants the program to be good and be better, and wants to see the efficiencies. But I just wanted to, and certainly, Commissioner Scromolo needs no defending from me. So you hold your own quite well. And I think that we don't always agree, right? I mean, we're all different. We all represent different people, but I wanted to acknowledge, I appreciate you bringing that to us. We do have to look under every rock. I personally, I don't know if the rest of you, but I have a line item budget in a big binder sitting on my desk. If any of the public wants to look at the current line item budget, I welcome you to contact me and come and sit with me. You can't take it with you because it's my only copy and it's a lot of trees, but I welcome you to come and look at it. We have nothing to hide, and so with that, Madam Chair, it just kind of, I'm with you.
Thanks.
Things are heavy. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, speaking of first day of school, this was my first year. I was sitting here trying to calculate it in my head. First year in 23 years, I have not had a student go the first day of school. Man, I'm gonna start crying right now. It was weird, you know. It's weird knowing that all those school buses are out there and like I didn't even have anything to deal with it out there. But I did get to move a kid to college this weekend. My husband and I busted our booty, getting everything moved in and for 3 other roommates to come in, and then my youngest will be going there in January. So very exciting, of course, for us. Go Gators! Sorry, Sharice. So early voting, yes, I went early voted today. Please, everybody, get out there and early vote. You can go to 7 different locations, anyone you want during early voting, 10 to 6 p.m. till the 16th. We got a lot of people out there that have opinions, and so if you have that opinion and you want to voice it, voting is where you do that. So get out there and do that. I too, and I have to say, I'm gonna contact that lady. I can't say her name, but I did miss her email. I did. I think there was one that was the email to all of us, and I know we don't always totally respond to those because of the sunshine and everything, but I missed it. And so totally my fault. We get hundreds of emails, and I really do truly try to see all of them, but it's been a little bit crazy lately, and I know I still have plenty that I still need to respond to. I'm sure all of you are the same. Partnership in our county. Wow, again, so proud to be a part of Clay. Today, hearing everything that happened and seeing the pictures, I immediately started hearing things about stormwater on social media because of that. And, I actually have to say, that would be a reason to know that we have to make sure our stormwater system is taken care of for reasons like that, for reasons that what happened today. It is our job, just as Commissioner Scrumlow said, we have to know that everyone is taken care of. Ever since I became a commissioner, even before I heard about infrastructure, that we have not planned for our infrastructure here, and have heard it so many times. So now this is we have to plan for infrastructure for now and in the future. And so we have to do these hard jobs of figuring out the best way to do that. And, I am astounded, and I'm going off the cuff here also. I am astounded, and I wish I could ignore social media, but the horrible things people say. I am a Christian, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I'm a part of this community. And I care, and all of us care. And the things that people say about 5 of us, there has to be 5 commissioners in this county that make decisions. Will it be you? Don't sit out there and criticize us if you aren't willing to take it and get in our shoes. And I take it very seriously. County manager, he takes a lot. And if you knew how much this man and this lady over here work, you would, hopefully you wouldn't speak the things that you do. So I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I'm the chair. And I'm telling you right now, you all should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. And I know there's plenty of y'all listening right now because I see it on Facebook right after here. Let's see. UF-IFAS, we're not picking on anybody in particular. We've had a lot of UF-IFAS people come here, and this man right here, if there's anybody on this board that loves students, it's him, and is going to look out for them. So, again, it's our job to look at every single part. I hear again, everyone, all this abuse. Oh, you got to trim your budget. You got to make sure it's lean. That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do. So it's our job to look at every single part of our budget, and we don't shuffle money around. We don't do that, sir. Let's see, I'll make sure I covered it all. I can't read my script, chicken scratch. We live here, we live here in this county, and so it does matter to us, every single vote that we take here. And it's not, none of it's taken lightly, and we do spend a lot of time looking at everything, and much more than, of course, anyone ever knows. But I just, again, just have to say, just know that if you have questions, if you don't understand why we are looking at a certain thing, especially what's coming up on August 25th, please ask. We are here and to try to make sense of it. None of us want to have to increase anything that anybody pays. And so I will leave it at that, and we will see everybody in 2 weeks. I hope everybody has a safe week and enjoy your family. I'll adjourn.